started...
my phone.
Okay. Well, if you just started listening, we're just talking about Matt Steele's hair because that's all we talk about here on 2K Mats.
And it's a great topic.
It's a topic. It's true.
Listen, I can't help it that a lot of people bring it up to me.
I didn't bring it up to you. You just started talking about it. That's true. Thank you. Okay. I'm glad that we agree.
All right, fine. Let me pick up my phone since it fell into the abyss.
I mean, it'll be back. Oh my gosh, there he goes.
I don't know why my phone always falls.
I mean, you drop it. It doesn't fall. It drops from your hands.
Well, where do you put your phone?
I put my phone here on.
I'm going to put it right in front on the stool as well.
I think that's a great idea.
Every pump. But I like to have something in my hands.
You do.
I'm a very tactile person.
If it's between that or the mic stands, I would choose the phone.
You mean you don't want people to hear this?
No, I don't think that's lovely for the ear when people are listening closely, driving to their commute. They don't want to hear you banging on the mic stand.
Okay, great. I'm gonna tie my hands behind my back. I'm gonna do what they told me to do at my NYU Tisch audition.
Okay.
When I did my comedic monologue, I got 2 words in, and he was like, "I'm gonna stop you right there." Do harsh. The entire monologue without moving your hands. And I was just like, okay, great. And so I did it like 5 times without moving my hands. And he was like, see, you can do it. You can do it. And I was like, okay, he knows I can take a note. And then I did my dramatic monologue. And he was expecting me to start using my hands. And I did my dramatic monologue with just face, baby. And just face and just voice. And he was like, that was fantastic. And that is how I got into NYU. And look at me now.
That's true.
Here,
I see you
wearing
now.
a Spice Girls shirt. Really? Still using my hands.
Yes, exactly. The hands are still a part of it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another 2K Mats podcast. It's Matt Steele.
And it's Matt Palmer.
And another week has gone by. We are in the throes of July, which means that we are into the throes of summer, which means we are into the throes of the year, which means we are near death. Because time just goes by real fast.
There's no one I know that like gets more depressed by time passing than you.
It's devastating. 2022 is over halfway over.
I think that's good. I think every day we're getting closer to the next Christmas. That's like my view of the world, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, but then Christmas is always like, oh, this year has ended. Oh no, what did I accomplish this year? Oh no, nothing.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe like it's the same thing with me in like birthdays, thinking about like, oh, well, what have you accomplished or what's your plan for the next year? I don't really think in those terms. I'm more like, I always want to be learning and growing and doing better. And so I don't know. I'm just not as boxed in as you, I guess.
Wow, you're so enlightened. I'm so happy for you. Maybe one day when I'm your age, I'll be as enlightened.
You mean a year?
But now that I'm young and hungry,
okay,
I just can't think that way. I'm sorry. Okay. I just want it too much.
We're counting 34 as young?
Wow. It's young.
Okay.
It's younger than you, bitch.
That's true, but I never claimed young. Matt Steele.
Yes.
How was your week?
My week was good. Oh, God, what did I do? I mean, the Big Brother started. So, I mean, it's all been that, ladies and gentlemen. And I worked literally nothing.
Really?
I am broke this month. So
I remember that.
Nothing that involves money will be happening on Matt Steele's watch.
Okay.
Yeah. For the summer.
I think that's
maybe just for July. But maybe for the summer if things don't go well in July.
I mean, yes. No, this month we had to buy a new table and chairs because Jackson's sister, who we were borrowing the table and chairs from, is moving into a larger space, so she needs the table and chairs. And so that was a bit of money. And then I also bought tickets to go see my friend Justin in Seattle next month, which even though the prices had come down a bit, they didn't come down that much.
Yeah.
Flights.
Girl, I'm going to New Jersey July 19th. And like those tickets were like $300 more expensive than those tickets are during Christmas.
I know.
Like crazy.
It's horrifying.
I mean, like gas prices and oil prices are going down, like are dropping really, really fast now.
People keep saying that, but then I look at my gas station. I'm like, are you not getting with the program?
Girl, go to a different gas station.
It's like right there.
I'm very much like I'm going to the gas station that's near.
Yes.
I'm not one of those people who drives some roundabout way to save a little bit of money on gas, and that's probably why I'm broke for the month of July.
It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to talk about the Big Brother of it all now, or would you rather wait till News for Idiots? Because I'm telling you, this week, I have been popping into our Discord channel, which is available if you're a patron at patreon.com/2GayMats, and we have a separate Big Brother channel, and every time I go in there, it's like 12 new messages.
Yeah.
And it's like, didn't this show just start? Didn't they just get into this house? How is so much happening?
And it's a mess, which like I kind of love, but also there's like sad elements to it. But it's like, I'm like, it's dramatic. So like it's fun, but it's not in a fun way.
Right.
For like
it's
one person.
Racist.
And
Racism isn't fun.
We'll get into it. And you know what? My Giving Me Moments is somewhat about Big Brother. And so I feel like that could be a nice lead in. So I guess tune into the end of the podcast.
Perfect. Okay.
For that. Matt Palmer,
Yes.
what have you done this week?
This week, I had a similarly low-key week. We had that 3-day weekend prior to, so work was
Who's
very
we,
busy.
girl?
Well,
I worked. You had a
we
3-day
as in
weekend.
those of us with 9-to-5s. And so having that Monday off is always nice, but then when you come back to work for the next 4 days, you're like catching up and doing so much work. Headache. And so this weekend, we had a very lovely weekend. We went to see Dear Evan Hansen at the Amundsen.
how was that?
It was really great.
Good.
That Evan... Oh my God, he was singing his face off. I believed every word. And like, I have been in love with the score for a long time.
So are you saying his words didn't fail?
His words did not fail. Oh, and what a fucking song.
I mean, it's a great song.
What a fucking song.
Yeah.
And like, I still stand by that the best 2 songs in the show are, tracks 2 and 3. And so after For Forever. And luckily, there are a lot of references back to Waving
Justice
to a
for
Window.
So Big, So Small. Great song.
I will say in watching the show, I felt more for Evan's mom than I did in listening to the score. So Big, So Small as a song, I don't care about. But the sentiment behind it is lovely. That's good. I'm giving you that.
But yeah, okay.
And then Saturday, we went to a park hang for our friend of the pod, Janie Stoller's birthday is next Wednesday, and she's having several events. And Saturday was just a park hang with some of her friends. That was really great. And then today we went to the Gentle Barn, which I had been to before. It's like a kind of like a petting zoo.
I saw that on Jackson's
kind of thing.
Instagram story, and I was like, "Ooh, they got to pet animals. They're so lucky."
We got to pet horses and emus and cows and all of the things.
You pet them gently, I'm assuming.
You're petting, not patting. That was what we learned. This is a no. Like when you pat
is
but when
a no.
you pet, it's a yes. And so that's what I learned, and did a lot of petting, did more photography because I felt like as someone who like wants animals to be happy and be well and like feels happily for them, I wasn't the biggest animal lover there. So I wanted to make sure I got a lot of shots of Jackson and Janie and other attendees at the party because I knew that was like they were about to burst into tears and their hearts were breaking and all of this. So I was there as a photographer, but I did enjoy the animals and they seem to be treated so well here. So I would recommend the Gentle Barn if you love to see animals up close and want to make sure they're being treated humanely. The Gentle Barn is a great place to go.
I also, after we recorded the podcast last week, we went to our friend Corey's for a 4th of July get together and everything.
We did.
And I have to say, it was such a lovely party for me.
Yes.
Because at the end of the party, it was just 7 of us gays, 10 of us gays. No. Math,
it doesn't matter.
7 of us gays just sitting there until like 3 o'clock in the morning arguing about pop music. And I was like, I have not been in this dynamic in so long.
Yes.
So it was wonderful. It was cathartic. We all ended the night angry at each other because of various opinions that people had. And it's the best way to spend a gay night.
I mean, mostly we were just angry at one person, if we're all going to be honest. And me and Steele, our powers combined, because a lot of times we're on the other side of the fence when it comes to these arguments. But when someone says to you, who is Kelly Clarkson? She's just a talk show host.
That was when we both rose from our chairs.
It's like if you've seen that Housewives episode when Kim and Kyle are yelling at Brandy after she said that Kim was doing meth in the bathroom, and they're both like, you slut pig. That was us.
It was us.
Yelling at this very young man. Kind of young. We're not sure about his age, but he was young when we met him back in the day. So we have a different age, and so that's why we're trying to give him some grace.
Yes. Cultural differences.
Because
generational differences.
If you weren't there when we all voted Kelly Clarkson into office as our American Idol.
September 2nd, 2002, or September 3rd, one of those. I remember it was my second day of freshman year of high school.
Wow.
I remember that.
And if you weren't there for that, then maybe you don't know, and maybe you think of her in that way.
You didn't know the chokehold that American Idol had on society.
And what Kelly Clarkson meant and means to us all.
He also said that the song Sex Dreams is one of Lady Gaga's worst songs. And I was like, oh no, hold Matt Palmer back. Because we cannot stand for that opinion.
He was aligning Sex Dreams and Jewels and Drugs as if they were the same thing. And you know what? It was a fun party. Long story short, we're still mad.
We love a friendly debate.
Yes.
And it's just so funny how like powerful we become with our pop music knowledge. And me, who like did not know anything about pop music 10 years ago, now after doing 2 gay mats for almost a decade, just how powerful I can become when I have my little warrior by my side. how good we are together.
We have opinions. I don't know if that's come up on this podcast, but we have some opinions.
I love how we're just like so proud that we battled a bunch of gay friends that are like our best friends.
Right. People that we love.
And we're just like, we won the war. We won the war.
Hey, sometimes you got to fight.
Sometimes you got to fight your best friends.
It's true. It's very true.
But we love everyone.
We do love everyone. I'm looking through the news and like what is of importance. And I feel like the top news story in the past several weeks podcasts has been Beyonce. So let's just keep the streak alive.
It's July up until July 29th. The top news story is going to be Beyonce.
And according to Amazon Italia, which I think has since taken this description down, Act 1 of Beyonce's Renaissance is the first part of a trilogy.
And I believe them because as my Italian grandparents always told me growing up, you can always trust an Italian.
Okay. I didn't know that was something we all knew. Act 1 will reportedly celebrate Black music and culture, will include references to several past hits. The songs are said to be up-tempo with strong dance, house, and techno, blah, things we know. But supposedly, or there have been talks of like maybe each album is a different type of music that was started by Black people and has maybe been co-opted by the whites and people think of as white music these days, like house music. Why there was that Variety article talking about Beyonce's going to have some country music on her Renaissance releases.
Oh, yes.
So we're thinking, is it going to be a dance music album? Is it going to be a country album? Is it going to be a rock music album?
Oh, my heart.
And again, this is all conjecture.
Of course.
But Amazon Italia got us riled up.
Man.
I would love that. I mean, if you saw the beginning, we did a patron request video this past week reviewing Dawn of Chromatica. And there's also been talk of Beyonce's Renaissance. The reason we haven't gotten a music video for Break My Soul yet is supposedly there could be a visual album that we'll be seeing in theaters.
In Dolby.
In Dolby, because Dolby, if you go to Dolby's Twitter account right now, they are Dol-BEY. And they're like, there's a reason we're still Dolby. And, maybe everyone's just trying to rile us up and get the people talking. But spoiler, it's working.
It's working. I'm riled.
Care.
I'm riled. I'm excited. I wonder if there is a movie to see in theaters. The fact that like a movie will be dropped in theaters by surprise is just mind-blowing. Like that has never happened, I feel. And another thing that I thought of as I was driving here, that would count as, like an official release in theaters, which means Beyonce's winning the Oscar for a song in there, right?
She must.
Like
That's the thing. Beyonce, if there's anything Beyonce's not going to do, it's die without a fucking Oscar.
Oh my God.
She just will not do it. She'll keep trying in every avenue she can. She's getting a fucking Oscar.
Because I'm trying to think what the competition is this year. It's Taylor's Caroline knows that song. Like, Beyonce can beat that.
Yes. So I hope that happens for all of us. In other good news.
Oh, they're talking about Fantasia in the live chat, guys.
Okay.
I just got excited. Keep going with the news.
Thank you. In other good news for us all, Elon Musk is not buying Twitter after all. Apparently that $44 billion Twitter deal has gone south. It's been terminated. Elon Musk is not doing it, which I felt like we were all saying a week after this was announced. It's like, it almost feels like this isn't going to happen and that he's just talking all of this up.
Well,
I don't know.
Elon, save your money, maybe invest it into, like a charity of some kind.
Yeah, or invest it into Tesla, not treating their Black employees like shit. Something. There's got to be a way for you to use this money in a better way. Leave Twitter alone. We don't need billionaires to have control over any parts of our lives. So, whatever.
I mean, I hate to break it to you, but they're all controlling our lives.
I mean,
in some
I wish we
sort
could,
of way.
We could pick the billionaire. Though. If it could be Beyonce and Rihanna, sure. Elon, stay away.
Beyonce is the billionaire controlling our lives.
She's the one. If I had to go with one, she's the one I'm going with. But it's more news on Elon. He had twins with one of his top executives weeks before he welcomed a second child with Grimes. He somehow seemed to confirm that he did this by saying, I'm doing everything in my power to stop the dwindling population numbers. A tweet that was responded to by whom? Nick Cannon, being I'm right there with you, brother. And it's look at all these people I hate.
Well, it's just doing everything in my power as if you're working really hard to do this. Sure, raising a child is hard, especially financially helping them and everything, but it's not hard for you.
You're the hard part, especially for
But you are not putting in any work to help this issue that's not really an issue. Like, what are you doing?
Trying to make a joke is what he's doing.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was serious.
No,
Okay.
it's such a bad joke.
I didn't know Elon could joke. But,
I mean, he wasn't he on SNL? He wants to be a comedian.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought he gave that goal up.
Gave that goal up. Well, speaking of giving goals up, Beanie Feldstein has announced that she will be performing as in Hello Dolly only until September 25th. Is
Funny
that correct?
Girl.
Funny Girl. What'd I say?
They opened the same year on Broadway, but won the Tony, and it was not Funny Girl. It was Carol Channing and Hello Dolly.
Okay.
Anyway, you see, it's Funny Girl. She announced her contract was shortened to September, I believe, and then she just announced that she is going to be leaving early. She's going to be leaving July 31st.
July 31st? I thought it was September 25th.
It was supposed to be September 20th. It was shortened to September 25th, but then she announced that.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, today.
I know, I heard it today, but I thought she said, oh, girl.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the post, the announcement that she made on her Instagram. She says, playing Fanny Bryce on Broadway has been a lifelong dream of mine, and doing so for the last few months has been a great joy and true honor. Once the production decided to take the show in a different direction, I made the extremely difficult decision to step away sooner than anticipated. I will never forget this experience, and from the bottom of my heart, I will thank every single person that came to the August Wilson for the love and support you have shown me and our amazing cast and crew. The people I've had a great joy bringing Funny Girl to life with every night, both on and off the stage, are all remarkably talented and exceptional humans, and I hope to continue to join them on Henry Street after I depart on July 31st.
Shit.
And so it's kind of like...
That's very short.
Yes, and so it's like the wording of once the production decided to take the show in a different direction, it's like... It's not a TV show where it's like, oh, this season took a turn, it's in a different direction. Or like, it's not a movie where it's like during development, they decided to make some changes creatively before it was released that an actor was not happy with. It's like, this is a frozen Broadway show.
Right.
And the production is frozen. Like, they're not going to like close it and redirect it. And
right.
Like, what is the different direction the production took? So everyone is kind of like, what's going on behind the scenes? We don't know. Like, this is very odd.
Something's afoot.
Something's afoot. And so there's just a lot of speculation. Then immediately Funny Girl on social media announced at 1 p.m. tomorrow, Monday, they have a big announcement.
Which
and
we assume is the new Fanny Bryce.
The new Fanny Bryce, which a lot of people are assuming is...
Leah Michele?
Leah Michele.
Do you think, could it be that she found out that Leah Michele actually was replacing her and then Beanie left? Is that a new direction that would have made sense for her to leave? Because I feel like there were people saying her understudy was really great and like wanting her to be, the main girl and, take over for Beanie. Could it have been that?
I don't know. I truly don't know what this new direction could possibly be. Maybe one day, years from now, we will find out when people are maybe allowed to talk. But I don't know. I don't know. But it's suspect. And I don't know. I feel bad. It seems like a very awkward, hard situation. But I mean, it's rough out there on the Great White Way.
I suppose so. This news story isn't terribly important, but the headline made me laugh, so I want to talk about it.
Okay.
Martha Stewart jokes that she wishes her friends will just die so she can date their husbands. Which, truer words have they ever been spoken. Apparently, Chelsea Handler has... Oh, this is on her podcast. Chelsea Handler's Dear Chelsea podcast. Martha Stewart, who is now 80, shared her dating life struggle.
Martha Stewart is 80?
Apparently.
She looks great.
She looks amazing. Whoever's done whatever they've done with her.
Jail was good for her.
Yes. She says, I had 2 mad crushes in the last month, which is really good for me, but turns out one of them is married to the mother of some friends of mine. He's so attractive. Handler says, you can't be a homewrecker. Stewart says, I've never been a homewrecker, and I've tried really hard not to be.
I've tried really hard not to be a homewrecker, which means she has not succeeded all the time.
But that's where I meet men. They're all married to friends of mine or something like that. It's very tempting, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe this relationship they're in is temporary. Or maybe they'll die. I always think, oh gosh, couldn't that person just die? Not painfully, just die.
Martha Stewart's great.
I
She
mean-
is so great. What a badass. And I love that she is an 80-year-old woman who's just like, I'm horny.
Yeah, she wants to date. She wants to get out there, and I'm happy for her.
Yeah. I'm glad that she knows, like, I will not wreck this home, or I'll try to not wreck this
Right.
home.
But
at
my
least.
eyes are open,
My
and
eyes
I
are
would
open.
like any sort of status updates as it comes to your marriage.
I mean, I would love to get in on some of that Martha Stewart money. So, like, Martha, I'm single.
No,
and, like,
I mean, I don't think-
know if I can satisfy you in the way you want to be satisfied, but, like, I'm good company.
Okay, I think leave Martha alone.
Listen.
I don't think this is what she
Listen,
needs.
I would marry Martha Stewart if it meant having that Martha Stewart legacy in my bank account.
I feel like when you first came out to LA, you were very much like wide-eyed, bushy-tailed. I'll do anything. Like I only want to be in love with the real person I love. And very soon thereafter,
and then soon after, I was like, I would have sex with Martha Stewart.
I mean, yes, everybody changes and grows in their own way. This is not really great news for a podcast format. So if you're listening, I apologize. And honestly, if you're watching, I apologize because you'll have to look something up. But Mariah Carey was at the Dolce & Gabbana 2022 Alta Moda show, which, by the way, I did look up and I realized they're a little problematic too. I think they've done racist shit. But we're forgetting that for now because Mariah looked great. She just looked great. She was hanging out with Sharon Stone. Apparently they're friends. Hanging out with Helen Mirren. Took a picture with the two of them and Drew Barrymore. And I'm just
Yes,
like...
the genius Helen Mirren.
Yes,
You better be clapping.
It flashed back to that award, whatever it was.
The like Palm Springs, Florida
Breakthrough
Award, where Mariah Carey was drunk as a skunk, winning the award for Precious. And
With
she
Lee
was like,
Daniels.
I got to meet Helen Mirren. And people were like, yeah, she's like the genius Helen
Genius.
Mirren. Yes, you better be clapping.
You better be
Yes,
clapping.
yeah.
And it's like, I don't know that I've seen. Well, there's that one clip of Mariah in a club where she just takes the mic and goes, I got to do the best I can with what I got. But I'm like, these are the two drunkest memories of Mariah that I have. And I'm glad that she and Helen Mirren got a chance to catch up.
Oh,
together.
they have a good time together.
But,
Mariah
like,
and Helen Mirren.
She and Sharon Stone often run into each other and like spend time together. I'm like, what do the two of you have to talk about?
Drew Barrymore was there as well.
She was.
She posed with Mariah Carey. They
Yeah.
had a great time.
I said that already.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Oh,
But what are Sharon Stone and Mariah talking about? That's the real question. That's the smoking gun here.
What aren't they talking about?
I guess.
You know, one day when I marry Martha Stewart, I
Oh,
will know what
Lord.
those rich women talk about.
Boris Johnson resigned.
Okay. I was up at 3 a.m.
Why?
Looking, I was, you know, I was doing an alcohol training test for my restaurant. Like I had to do like alcohol service training.
Oh, okay.
It was like an online test, and it
Yeah.
included like 3 different exams. It was annoying.
Yeah.
And so I was doing that late in the night, and I had to, and I believe like Big Brother. I was reading like Big Brother stuff and
Of course.
everything. And I saw on Twitter, like before I was about to go to bed, that like Boris Johnson just announced he's about to resign. So I was like, well, I might as well stay up another hour and like watch the news about this. And that's how I spent in the middle of the night this week.
I mean, I think that's great. It's nice to, even though we don't get great news in our country often.
I have to say, like politics in the U.S. like obviously is a mess.
Yeah.
Politics everywhere, I'm sure, is a mess. But politics in the UK, I mean, he's like how many prime ministers have resigned recently?
I know.
So many.
I know.
It's like they just like only one U.S. president has resigned in history, and like so many UK prime ministers have resigned. So it's like it's just a mess everywhere. I
know.
guess.
That's the thing is I feel like the more you look into the other countries, well, not all of them. A lot of them have things like abortion and universal health care. But some of them, like the UK, are a fucking mess too. So it's like, at least we're not alone in our horribleness.
Yeah.
That's a thin silver lining. But it's one, okay? We're going to go with that. So may Boris rest. Trying to think. Love Victor's lead actor is going to be on the final season of Never Have I Ever. Michael Cimino, not gay man, is going to be a love interest for the main character, and that'll be exciting. Apparently, the season 3 of the show will drop August 12th, and so I guess the last season is season 4. So it's not even the upcoming season; it's the season after.
Is it Cimino or Cimino?
I don't know.
I would say Cimino.
Okay.
My Italian grandparents from heaven are saying Cimino.
Cimino. Okay, well, I mean, they aren't him, right?
And as they said, you can always trust an Italian.
Yes, but trust them to tell you something they don't know. All right, whatever it is, that's great. Sierra has a new song and single on Republic Records called "Jump." The music video is great. She's jumping, and she looks beautiful.
Love that.
Love that.
I love pop stars who jump. Have you ever? Did you ever know of the pop group Jump 5?
No.
Our friend DJ Bobble, no. They were a group of 3 girls and 2 boys, and they were like before they became a pop group, I think like 4 of them were competitive cheerleaders.
Oh.
So they had really, really up-tempo major pop music, and all their choreography was just nothing but backflips and jumping. And it was like YouTube, one of their music videos, truly insane.
Really?
I mean, like, and there's one girl who is the lead singer, and she is belting her face off, like screeching, like she's so good.
Does she sound good?
She sounds good.
Wow.
I mean, you would probably listen and at first listen, be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But then you're like, she's doing this while doing backflips. Like, you better work, girl.
That's true.
That's totally off topic from Sierra's Jump. I imagine they're different styles.
Who knows? They could be just the same. And lastly, I apologize if you just listened to our Real Housewives recap podcast that I do with Janie, but I have one more piece of Real Housewives things that I need to get off my chest. On Real Housewives of Beverly Hills this past week, Erica Jane has been getting drunk this year because she's like, I'm pretending that this whole, orphans and widows lawsuit that I'm under is not happening and like it's all been cleared up. It has not. But she likes to pretend. And so she keeps getting really drunk at these events. Just being like, oh, I'm fun and I'm drunk now. Like, don't ask me about orphans and widows.
I love how it's like the way to clear your reputation is to just get drunk in public.
That is Erica's move. And like, I will say up until this episode, I was like, she is more fun. Like she was really serious last year. Seeing her get drunk on a boat with some friends and just like say silly stuff. Fine, sure, cute, whatever. This past week, she proceeds to hit on Garcelle's son, who is I must be latest in his 30s. He is a married man. Erica is like, how old are you? Like, what's your deal? Like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, I'm married. This is my situation. She's like, well, tell your baby mama to open up your DMs. And it's like, really? You're going to tell the son of the first black cast member on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills refer to his wife as a baby mama, which is racist.
Yeah.
And be like, tell her to open up her DMs because I want a threesome and I'm sliding in there. And he's like, okay, ma'am, goodbye. And it's just like incredibly embarrassing. It's just like why you must sexualize the son of your work friend because Garcelle and you are not actual friends. You're just friends on this television show is fucking weird. That's strike 1. Strike 2 is then Garcelle's 14-year-old son comes to pick up the flowers from the table. It's Garcelle's birthday. She's leaving with these flowers.
Oh no, what's happening?
Erica sees this son. I assume she doesn't say this, but my assumption from watching the show is she might have thought initially before she got close to him that he was attractive or something. He gets really close and he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Screaming at this child at his mother's birthday party. And then he's like, this lady just told me to get the fuck out or go fuck myself or whatever it was. And it's like, later on when she's being reminded what she did, she's like, oh, those kids are like, what, 16? She's like, no, he's 14, actually.
See, I was scared. At first, I thought you were going to tell me that she like hit on the 14-year-old
No, she
son.
didn't.
But then you told me she just like berated him. And it's like, okay, well, I guess that's not as bad, but
not
still
as bad. Still bad. And then part 3, Kyle Richards, Sutton is talking to this awful new woman, Diana Jenkins, and they're trying to bond over the fact that they both suffered miscarriages. Sutton admits and reveals that she's had 2 miscarriages, and Kyle goes, what? You never told me this, if that's even true.
Whoa.
And again goes on and discusses like whether or not she's telling the truth or just she's trying to like one up Diana. And it's like, this show, like the shows are supposed to be fun. You're supposed to, and I feel like maybe this is what's happening on Big Brother. It's supposed to be like, I want to enjoy this and like have you get in fights about silly stuff and like argue. But like if I'm like heated after a scene because you've been so vile to one another, it's not fun. Like that's not what I signed up for. So fire all of them. Keep Sutton, keep Garcelle, fire every fucking body else. They're all disgusting, awful people. And these are my feelings. The thing is, Beverly Hills was so good so recently, but again, it had to be circled around like, the law, a legal case that like there were so many victims of. And now that they're back to their own devices, it's like, oh, you guys are all disgusting.
Well,
so,
geez. Speaking of like sliding into DMs, did you hear about that Doja Cat drama?
Yeah, who cares? Who's Noah Schnapp? Like, I don't know these people's names. I don't watch.
She's on Stranger Things, I believe.
I don't watch Stranger Things.
And she was like, she DM'd him and was like, yo, your co-star on Stranger Things. Is he single? Tell him to DM me.
And then he like posted it.
And Doja Cat was embarrassed and like mad or something like that. So it caused drama between them and everything. But my question is like, Doja, like, you can have your manager reach out to
Exactly.
the guy you like's manager. Like that's how
Exactly.
Hollywood works, girl.
Right.
Like,
And it's like, also, wasn't the person you reached out to 17?
that's the thing.
So another
like,
person that you shouldn't be engaging with. Everyone's weird.
Everyone's weird,
fucking
guys.
weird. Is there any other news you want to talk about this week?
I don't believe so.
Okay, well, we'll take a quick break and then we'll be back with more Two Gay Mats, the podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
It's true.
Don't you fret. We are on to Email My Heart, which is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at twogaymats@gmail.com, two spelled TWO, or
Yes.
you can comment below if you are watching this on YouTube and looking at our beautiful, adorable faces with great lighting. So the first question comes to us from Vidor Vi. I believe they go by Vi.
Hi, Vi.
Hi, Vi. Or maybe V. The End of the World. Hey, Mats. I'm V/Vi. I've been listening to your podcast for a couple months now, and listening to your older episodes and current ones have been such a needed joy and entertainment in my life.
Aw.
Thank you. Last night, I had a dream that it was everyone's last day on Earth, and the first thing I thought of waking from that dream was, what album would I dance and get crazy to the night before we all died?
Oh, wow.
Additionally, the other day I was listening to Together Again by Janet Jackson, and I was thinking, hey, what a heavenly piece of music this is. It got me thinking, what would I party to in heaven? And this Hell by Queen Rena has always had me imagining all the queens and Kathys of the world losing their minds to some great dance music in hell.
Why are we in hell?
So Matt, here are my questions. What album would you play at the club on the last day of the world? What album would you party to at the gates of heaven? And what album would you live for at hell's biggest night of dancing? All of these situations are dance parties.
Yes.
What are dance pop albums that you would play? I can't wait to hear your responses. I hope you have fabulous lives. Thanks for the moments, darlings. With love, a dear Kathy, Vi, or V. Her answers are End of the World is Cannibal by Kesha.
Oh.
Gates of Heaven is Ray of Light by Madonna.
Oh.
And Hell is Born This Way by Lady Gaga.
Wow.
A Judas moment.
Yes, Judah.
I think, oh God, what would
Let
I
me
say?
think.
Hell, I think maybe would be art pop. Just because it's like, fuck yeah, we're doing it.
That would be some people's hell.
We're fucking doing
We
it.
like art pop, by the way.
It's
but
well, we got to bring a little bit of our heaven to hell.
Yes.
You know?
What's your last album on Earth? The club.
Last album?
If you're at the
Oof.
club. Also, why am I at the club at the end of the world?
That's the thing. The thing is, like, if it was my last album on Earth, it would be Broadway. Like I was listening, but since she
But you're
said
at the club.
this is specifically a dance. I would play Broadway at a club.
I don't want to hear Broadway at the club. I assume I'll be with you.
If it has to be like dance pop, I mean, I feel like my last day it would just be all of Body Talk.
I was going to say Body Talk.
Like it's gotta be Body Talk.
Because you get the ebbs and flows, you get the up-tempo moments, but then you get those acoustic, we're just doing strings so we can all hold each other and cry.
It's like it's euphoric. It
Yes.
makes you feel good about living, but also sad about living. Like I believe it's a beautiful, emotionally cathartic experience. It's 3 albums in one. Like
Yes.
so I really believe Body Talk would be a beautiful farewell to Earth.
I completely agree with you.
And honestly, I have to agree with her in the email that Ray of Light for Heaven, that's a heaven album.
It does make sense.
That's
It does make sense.
Yeah.
For Hell, I would say Britney Spears Blackout. Because if we're going to go down, let's get sweaty.
Let's get
let's get
sexy.
And that's a sexy, sweaty, dirty album that's still so iconic, top to bottom, no notes. That would be my choice.
I believe this could be like a fuck, marry, kill, where it's like get 3 dance pop albums and
Yes.
pick like which one is it, Heaven, Hell, or Last Day on Earth. Like if you just think of random dance pop song,
Right.
Like which one would everything be?
Well, I haven't done my Heaven yet.
Oh, what's your Heaven?
Okay, my Heaven. See, now you made me forget it. No, it's gonna be B-Day.
Oh,
I feel like B-Day is not like
welcome
light.
to heaven, bitch.
It's not light and airy, but it's a celebration.
It's a celebration.
It's like you made it. Get ready.
And B-Day could also be like Born Day,
Yes.
born again into God's lair.
All true.
I don't know if you would want us to call it a lair, but like, born again into our selves for eternity.
And if you wanted like a more ethereal song, like album for Heaven, I think Ellie Goulding's first album, Lights, I very much enjoy and has that kind of like electronic feel to it. Also, that Frou Frou album, I don't know if it would be called dance pop Frou Frou, but it also feels very ethereal and heavenly. So just some other options as far as that goes.
Where do you think Renaissance will fall?
I don't know. I think it might be a Last Day on Earth thing because we're getting close.
At least Act
close.
1 of Renaissance will be Last Day on Earth. I feel because
Absolutely.
Break My Soul is very Last Day on Earth.
Yes.
For me. And then maybe the next album will be the Heaven album, and then the last album will be, if it's 3 parts.
Could be that.
They're rumoring.
Yes.
We did get another email from Hannah asking our opinion on the Harry Styles album. Neither of us have listened to it.
We have not. Sorry, Hannah.
When we do, we'll let you know, because I'm sure I'll listen to it at some point.
And I feel like I've listened to the first half and I enjoyed the songs. I like that Music for a Sushi Restaurant song a lot. Okay. And I feel like there was another song on there in the first half that I enjoyed, but no, I've not gotten all the way through it. And then I believe Jaleesa had a question down here.
Jaleesa!
Yes, I believe she is heading to New York, I want to say, and wants to know what we would do. Okay, what did you guys love to do there? Any recommendations?
Honestly, like the best thing to do in New York, besides seeing Broadway shows, obviously, is just walk the fuck around.
Yeah.
Like just walk and walk and walk and just look at everything. Like that's I don't, whenever I go on vacation, that's all I want to do in general. Like I'm not a vacation person. When I went to England to see the Spice Girls reunion tour, I went with my friend and he was like, well, what else do you plan to do? And I was like, I don't know, just walk around. And like, if I look at a restaurant and I go, I like that, I'm going to walk into it and eat there. Like,
go.
I don't know. I'm very much like, I don't love planning when it comes to vacations. I'm not like, let's go to the Mets. Let's go to this. Let's go to this. But also, if you've never been to New York before, you probably want to do all that stuff. Just because I grew up in New Jersey,
right.
I kind of took New York for granted.
Totally.
Like seeing the Statue of Liberty was like, oh yeah, it's right over there.
Yeah,
like,
I never did that.
So because I was from the area. I grew up going to New York a lot.
Right.
Yeah, so honestly, like I just like a spontaneous just walk around. Ooh, Ellis Island is also very fun.
Oh, really?
Just because I like the history of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I was always, it's right at the beginning of my NYU days, so I have a soft spot for Washington Square Park on West 4th. I always thought that was very nice, and I think they've redone things around there with the fountain and things. I haven't been back in a minute, but I hear it looks great. Also, there's a restaurant in Union Square that I liked a lot as a young person called Patsy's. I hope it's still there. I was a big fan of it back in my day. And yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I just have a soft spot, maybe because I lived right there, but the whole like West Village area I think is very cool.
Oh, West Village is so, I would love to live in the West Village.
Yeah, and isn't there like a piano bar close by there? I forget the name.
A million. Go to a piano bar
Yes.
late at night and just see a bunch of gays singing, duets from The Music Man. It's
Exactly.
great. Also a fun thing you could do, I don't know how many, we're acting like she's going to be there like like 3 months.
Right.
But I don't know, go to a different pizza place every day and see which one you like best. Like try all the different like pizza places that like look like good pizza places,
Right.
not like the dollar pizza, which is good if you only have $1, but like not good if you want like really great pizza.
Right. But you also tell us how you enjoy it. I'm jealous. I wish I could go back to New York sometime soon. I'm sure I can make it happen, but it's just been a minute for me.
Honestly, just like park it in Times Square for a bit and just watch people.
I don't want to do that.
I love it.
I don't want to do that.
Working in Times Square for almost a year was great.
No.
Because it was just, there was something new to see every single day. Something crazy would happen.
Sure, but it's so congested and like I think
It's great. It's New York, baby.
You could go there for 1 second, I think later in the day, see all the big screens, be like, and then walk on out of there. You don't need to be there with all that overpriced shit and people trying to sell you stuff.
Don't buy anything in Times Square except for a Broadway ticket. But like, yeah, don't buy anything. But just if you've never been to New York before, Jaleesa, like,
yeah, it's good to
Times
see,
Square.
and then get out of there.
I love it.
Get out of there.
Oh, the things I saw on my
see.
shifts
I don't want that
in Times Square were truly wild.
I don't want wild things.
I saw so many naked people.
This is what I'm saying. I don't want to see naked people on my trip to New York.
I saw there was one. I went into the bathroom and then I came back out and everyone was off of the square where I worked, and I was just like, "What happened?" And they were like, "Oh, a guy just tried to kill himself," and everything. And I was like, what? Like just the why? And there's so many.
I don't want that. That's not what I'm going on the trip
I'm glad
for.
I was not there to witness that, but it still was a wild thing to come back to. Just the different, they always have like promotional things that companies are doing. So you'll just like look up and see 100 people on like stilts walking and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? And it's like, oh, they're promoting some sort of product. And it's like, oh, okay. Like it's really crazy.
It is crazy. I have a question for you, Matt.
Yes.
What has been giving you moments, darling?
Okay, so we warned y'all.
Oh, right.
that it would be a very Big Brother heavy.
Yeah,
end
everybody
of the show.
buckle up because it's going to be long.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
The thing that's giving me moments is not necessarily the show Big Brother. The thing that has given me moments for several years, and especially this week because I was reminded how great it is a Big Brother podcast that I've been listening to since 2016 called Hey Julie. It's hosted by this guy named Brett and a girl named Danielle, who I actually went to college with. It's one of my favorite Big Brother podcasts. Like, they are so good at just like acknowledging the realness of the fact that this is just a stupid show. And we all as Big Brother fans take the show so seriously sometimes. And they are so good at bringing it back down and just being like, guys, it's stupid. It's entertainment. And that is what we are here for. They're really, really great at just like, they're so wise in how they can just analyze all these different people as people, and the way they root for people is so funny because they're like, we're not team this person, we're not team this person, we are team fun feeds. And so they're always rooting for the person who is giving the most wild feeds. And it's like, that's what we're here for. That's what we want. We want craziness on the feeds. Craziness that's not racism.
Yes.
But they're just very good because all the other Big Brother not all the other ones, but a lot of other Big Brother podcasts are very like heady and like analyzing every single game point. And they're just like, guys, fuck it. Like, this is just fun. Just have fun.
I mean, it would be if they can make what it sounds like is happening in the house now fun. That's very impressive.
Well, the good thing in the house now is there is there is a girl named Paloma, and she's the youngest cast member. And everyone predicted she would be the most boring cast member because she was like young, gorgeous, and looked like she wouldn't have any personality. Everyone was like, oh, she's going to be she's a Love Island reject. It turns out she is the most cracked player the show has cast in a while. Like, she is just a mile a minute, accusing everyone of everything and starting a million alliances every 5 seconds.
Jesus.
Okay, there's some drama in the Big Brother house that's like not really fun drama. When immediately as the feed started, which was like they were in the house for like 2 hours, Paloma immediately with this girl Alyssa, she was just like, I don't like this girl Taylor. She's like a pageant girl. Like she's just like a pageant girl. Like, I don't like her. I don't like her and everything. So it was like, okay, Paloma doesn't like Taylor.
Taylor's black.
Taylor's black.
Yes.
And so it was like, oh God, Paloma doesn't like Taylor. Like, what's gonna happen? And so they started roping in all the other girls, like, we're all together. We're girls. We're girls. But they weren't roping in Taylor. They were leaving Taylor out and everything because like, they were like, Taylor's not a girl's girl. Taylor's like talking with the boys and everything. And a lot of things happened, and now the whole house really doesn't like Taylor. And it's crazy because it never has the whole house minus like 2 people turned on one person so early into the game.
Like, what did this girl even do?
Sometimes there's like drama between 2 people that like blows up early in the game. Sometimes like one person is really messy and like everyone gets mad at them. But like the thing that's weird about it is Taylor has done absolutely nothing. Like,
so strange.
Sometimes when people like all really don't like one person, it's like, oh, well, this person's awkward, or oh, this person did something that rubbed the wrong way. Like, they are literally like hating on this girl for no reason. Like, one thing that she did was she was like showing people her clothes, and she pulled out a really nice outfit. It was like a glittery like unitard or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, put it on. And she was like, oh, great. And she like was walking around in it, showing her pageant walk. She's like Miss Michigan.
Yeah.
USA. And so she had a really good walk. She's very intelligent, very kind. She won Miss Congeniality at this pageant or whatever. So it's like, how can you not get along with this girl? But she's like walking around and everything. And then everyone's like, woo, yeah, you go, girl. And then after she was done, they were just like, oh my. And as she was walking around, she was like, this is my finale outfit. Because they're always like, pack something nice for finale night because you can't go shopping before finale. And so she was like, this is my finale outfit. And then when that was over, people were like, can you believe she like strutted around in that outfit? And
you asked her to.
And they were like, the fact that she has the gall to say that this is her finale outfit as if she like knows she's going to make it to the final two. Like, how dare you? And it's just like, she said it's her finale outfit. Like, even if she isn't in final two, she's going to finale.
Yeah,
exactly. And also, like, who gives a fuck if she says final two? Like, if she says, like, oh, this is my final two outfit, like, it's in joke. It's all in good. As Hey Julie, the podcast would say, it's all just fun. Like, just be funny and be confident and everything. And so...
these people sound awful.
So...
These people sound like horrible, awful people and racists.
So this girl, Paloma, she is accusing everyone of everything every 5 seconds and everything. So at one point, she was in a room with all the girls, Taylor included, and she was just like, yeah, like at some point we have to like go after the guys, like Monty and like Kyle and like all of them, because like the big strong guys, we have to get them out, because she's, you know, you're in the house, you're like, I want to get this person out, person out, like, and so. Taylor, who was friends with Monty, goes to Monty like, hey, Monty, just to let you know, like Paloma brought your name up as like someone that she might be gunning after.
Right.
You should go talk to her and like get in good with her so she doesn't want to go after you.
Right.
So Monty goes to Paloma and says, Taylor just made up this lie that you were going after me.
Oh my God.
And the thing is, like, he didn't even ask her, like, Taylor said this thing to me, is it true? He was like, Taylor said this thing to me, like, and I don't believe it's true because you would never. And Paloma, the thing is, I genuinely believe Paloma doesn't recall saying this because she's just a mile a minute. Like, she talks about everyone. And so... But the thing is, like, even if she does recall saying it, of course she's going to be like, I absolutely did not say that. That's a lie, which, like, is good game. You're supposed to lie when someone accuses you of something. So instead of, like, Paloma approaching Taylor being like, hey, I heard you said this thing to Monty, or Monty approaching Taylor being like, is this thing true? Like, instead, the thing that makes me feel icky about all this is instead of anyone approaching Taylor and being like, hey, is this true? They tell the whole house Taylor made up this lie and no one is talking to Taylor about it. They're all instead just talking about Taylor behind her back. And it's like, so Taylor, spoiler alert, is in danger of going this week.
Right.
The power of veto is going to be used and Taylor's probably going to be the replacement nominee. And so she will have no idea why she's going up because no one is giving her the chance to explain herself and defend herself and everything. So everyone hates Taylor, but Taylor doesn't even know.
This is gross.
And so that's why it feels so icky. It's just like this is weird. Like, the thing that made Big Brother so good is when people confront each other and they try to explain things to each other and they just like bash heads. And or when there's a telephone miscommunication happening and they're trying to figure it out, which leads to a fight. But when it's just like a miscommunication happening and then no one like tells the other person about it and is left in the dark, it's just like, well, this isn't fun and is just like kind of
cruel and
mean.
Evil and racist. Like, I hate these people. Fuck Paloma, fuck Monty, fuck every single person you just told me about.
Well, the microaggression part like turns into like some people are saying like, oh, when she gets nominated, she is going to go ballistic and everything. It's like, this woman has shown no evidence
based on
of
what?
Losing a temper in the slightest. Like, she's literally a pageant queen. If anyone can keep herself calm and cool and collected, it's this girl. And so it's just very, very weird and very frustrating. And so, you know, I mean, I get it. Like, Big Brother is a social experiment where it's supposed to show those ugly sides of society. And it really does show how good people can fall into herd thinking and mob mentality. And like, these people are thrown into a situation where they're looking for reasons to dislike someone so they can put them up. So I'm sure psychologically that causes you to overreact to certain things and everything. So it is interesting to watch and everything, but still it's just like, I feel so bad for this girl because this has happened many, many seasons. Like, bullying has always been a problem on Big Brother. Season 6, like Howie threatened to eat April's dog, like over the top Jason, like called all the other girls hookers and spit in their suitcases and wiped his butt with their pillowcases. Like people have done horrible things on this show and everything, but like with this girl, it just feels so based in nothing.
Right,
It's like,
and it happens
she
so quickly.
Really didn't do anything.
You don't even know her. all happened out of nowhere. It sounds like you just got there. You've all decided as a house to hate this girl. This show, I feel like I must tell you from the outside looking in, only makes headlines when they're being racist in the house. I only hear about Big Brother when there's something racist going on, which is more often than not these days.
Well, the thing is, like, racist things are always going to happen when you get a group of 16 people, like, from all these different, like, optics are going to be bad in some sort of way. Someone's going to say something ignorant because everyone is ignorant of something in some sort of way. And so the hard thing with Big Brother, though, it's just like they're being filmed 24 hours a day. And so everything that they are doing is being seen and analyzed. Whereas like something like Survivor, sure, just as many racist things happen on Survivor, but it's just like edited into a, you don't see all those things, you know? So that's what makes Big Brother so difficult and like kind of hard to watch sometimes.
I love that first week. It's already hard to watch. My
God.
God.
The fact that someone is so against one person in the first like 2-3 days is really wild and unprecedented.
Wow. I hope when this girl gets voted out that she gets her phone back. Everyone talks about how much they love her. And I hope the show becomes more fun for the viewers. Because like this to me, if I were watching it, like this is part of the reason why I don't watch the show anymore. It's like this wouldn't be fun to me.
Well, the thing is like the show has been uglier in the past. Like it has been flat out more racist and uglier in the past. Like there are people who've been on 10 years ago who were just completely
What was her name with the A?
Aaron, Gina Marie. But even before that, like in the golden age of Big Brother, it was like, man, these people are being awful to each other. Like evil Dick, like burn Jen with cigarettes. Like there are people who do horrible, horrible things, but I think this is just going to show that times are changing and people aren't as entertained by that as they once were 10 years ago. Like the novelty of people just being like vile to each other like has worn off because like these people aren't necessarily, they're not being as vile as contestants had been like 15 years ago, but it just shows that people don't want to watch
no one wants to see that
really anymore. And so yeah, but the thing is like also I do have to push back on some of the Twitter people like talking about this. It's like y'all on Twitter shouldn't throw stones. Like you all like find any reason to hate someone and gang up on them. Like how many times do people log on just to drag James Corden through the mud? And that man has done literally nothing to anybody, you know? So Big Brother is filled with lots of complex feelings.
Okay.
And so that is why Hey Julie, the podcast, has been giving me moments because they just cut through all of it and they're just like, we just want it to be fun. We just want it to be fun. And they're so funny together. So check out that podcast.
Yes, I hope the show gets better for the podcast hosts who seem lovely.
Yes.
All right. Anyways, Marcel the Shell is lovely. That is a beautiful movie. It is as good as Matt Steele said it was. I mean, I get that you just talked about this last week, but it really, Jenny Slate, brilliant. Her ex-husband man who was in the film and directed it, brilliant. Just, Marcel and Bella Rossellini.
I know, as the grandmother, Shell.
I don't want to spoil it because if people want to see it, they should be able to see it and it be a bit surprise to them. But it's truly lovely, heartwarming. It's hilarious. Like as much as you thought Matt Steele might have been overhyping, he was not. I cried myself. I laughed myself. I felt every feeling. And I started my week with Marcel the Shell and ended it with Dear Evan Hansen. So it was a big emotional bookends for me. But I loved both very much. But I think Marcel the Shell takes the cake because I knew Evan's music very well and I did not know anything about Marcel because I hadn't seen the short films even until like a week ago when Jackson showed me. So Marcel is very new to me. And I haven't heard, but Jenny Slate was on another podcast and she was talking about like her dreams for the character. And she's like, did I say this already on the podcast?
I don't know.
She really wants to do like a duet album with people, like as Marcel.
Oh my God.
That will be
gorgeous. All three. Last Day on Earth, Heaven and Hell. That is my dance pop album.
Is Marcel covering whatever Marcel wants to cover with the artists themselves. It just is lovely. I hope that we get more iterations of Marcel one way or another. the end, it just is lovely. I won't say too much, but I will just say it was lovely, and I enjoyed every second.
Yeah, and the story is so strong. Like
Yes.
for something where the short film is literally just like a bunch of like one-liners and everything.
Yes.
Like the movie could have totally easily fallen into that trap of just like we're just gonna make this really funny and cute, but it's like no, the story is so strong and it pulls you in. What can we say other than Matt Steele is always right?
I didn't say that.
And Matt
exactly.
Steele's taste level is
Matt Steele's offending the racist TV show on CBS isn't right.
But not
so I think that's a little wrong. But you were right about Marcel. He's a lovely little shell.
Hey.
Lovely.
Oh, you can always trust an Italian.
I guess so. Well, I guess that's going to be it for us this week. Is there anything else you need to tell the people?
I don't think so, guys.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We'll be back next week with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye, guys.
Bye.